Welcome to Slayerfest 98. I'm Ian Carlos Crawford.
And I'm Zachary Patton Garcia.
And I am Nicholas Walker. And today we have Renee Rapp, superfan of YouTube fame, Zavid. Say hi, Zavid, / David.
Hi, my name is David Anderson Rodriguez Miguel Solano de los Santos de la Cruz. Yeah.
Alejandro Fernando Roberto, don't forget.
That's right, exactly. There you go.
Oh, Nick, you've been working on that accent. We are here to celebrate Buffy's birthday and talk about Helpless for the episode's 25th anniversary. It used to be an episode I hated just because I hated the Giles of it all so much. Can I just intervene for a second? I recently binged Ted Lasso. And I'm going to tell you all right now, if I had watched Ted Lasso before I had watched Buffy, I would be spitting in my TV every time he showed up on the screen. Because which is a testament to how great of an actor he is, but I genuinely am not able to look at him the same way. I was watching this episode and I was like, ooh, I want to choke the fuck out of this man right now. Like, he is vile. I'm Ted Lasso, like vile. I'm like, oh no, like I can't watch him anymore. Like, I mean, obviously I love the show, but I can't. It's a He's
very
like
whole
main,
different vibe when I'm.
He's bad guys, right?
He is the ultimate, like, every time he comes on the screen is just to cause chaos and piss people the fuck off. Although, amazing actor, because in love with Giles, but hated the shit out of this man. Oh my God. But yes, anyways.
Nick, how does this episode open?
With straddling.
Yes. This fighting is like almost ridiculous, right?
I'm here for it. I feel like this has to have been intentional from a certain creepy creator's perspective. But like the fact that they have tiny little Miss Sarah Michelle Gellar constantly using these comically oversized stakes. Like when she gets on top of him and she holds it to his chest, it's like huge, twice her size.
Why does she say satisfied?
Shit.
Right?
They do a lot here. They do a lot. And then Mr. Angel pulls out his purity ring and wait, we have to disengage. Don't get a boner. Don't pop a boner, Mr. Angel Boreon is.
Angel Boreon is. I will say though, Sarah, I think this is because she loves Buffy and Angel so much. I'm like kind of charmed by how smiley Buffy is. Like after their weird practice fighting, she's just like all smiles around him. And I'm like, man, she's
because
so
we
happy.
know she writes on her notebook at Buffy and Angel forever and does shit like that. Like she's kicking her heels at this boy.
Same.
No, my poor girl. I'm like, man, she doesn't ever get to be happy. But anyway, I do love the beat of her. Like, so we're continuing with the like sexy puns where she's like going out with a man who likes it when I call him daddy. And Angel's like, your father? It is your father, right? And it's like, Jesus Christ.
No.
So then we cut to the library. And I do appreciate that Giles is cranky here. And one assumes because he doesn't want to fucking do what he has to do.
Okay,
so
but be a little nicer to her then. Be a little bit nicer to her because she deserves it, right? Because he does know what he's about to do. Because this is like a multi-step process. Then,
yeah, it's like a couple injections, and this is like, one assumes that the crystals are just for this, right? Right, Nick? Wouldn't you say?
I would assume so. I mean, it kind of looks like Superman's fortress, but there's a lot going on. But yeah, I'm assuming it's just for this specific purpose.
Yeah, like that's not a thing they do regularly. It's like just for this thing.
Dawn would have stole a couple of these.
And it would never happen because Dawn would have stolen them.
He'd be like, where the fuck is that crystal?
It's like, well, Quentin, I can't do it because 2 of the crystals went missing. So they mention faith, which, Nick, a lot of people, I can't remember if it was one of the episodes you were on for, but a lot of people have said that like the only issue I've heard that people have with this season is faith is like not in it enough. But I did read that it's because Eliza Dushku was like 17, and she had to legally emancipate herself at the end of the season to be able to like be in more episodes.
Shut the fuck up! She was that young?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I mean, she
looked older, but she gives off this energy of like an older person.
Yeah, she was the only one that was like younger than Sarah, I think, right?
Yeah. Because like it's not like she looks old, but yeah, David, I agree with you. She has like an energy of like
that is just
at least
more mature,
like 20 or something. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if you got like, I like her little bit when he's like, I'm going to kill you for that. And she's like, what were you going to kill me for before? Like clever. Mm-hmm. And then he almost stabs her with her own stake.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I like hate seeing Sarah Michelle Gellar because she's so good. Like I hate seeing the panic on Buffy's face specifically because I'm like, no, this is supposed to be easy for her. Don't like upset my girl. And I hate just she does it so well, I think, right?
Yeah. I think it's a sick part of me that kind of enjoys that. Because I'm just like, she's so good that it's just like enjoyable to watch. Because if it was like anybody else that didn't know what they were doing, it would be like a little awkward. But she's just so good at playing just
that's exactly what I think it is, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Sarah is just so enjoyable to watch in any emotion that she is putting out there that I completely understand what you're saying.
When she's a bitch, I love it. When she's sweet, I love it. When she's kicking ass, it's just she just does it. It does it so beautifully for me that I just like enjoy. It's like an art form to watch, honestly. I don't know, I'm being extra gay right now. It's just amazing.
She doesn't miss. She just doesn't. And I feel like that's the one thing we all agree on here at Slayerfest 98.
No, it should have been a Renee Rapp.
Oh my god! I hope they remake Buffy and they have Renee Rapp and it's like
she would be in the running too. So let's not put that out there, okay?
David, why would you put that into existence? Take it back.
Okay.
I wish David Rodriguez never came to this podcast.
Oh shit! I just like to torture Nick sometimes. That's all. I like to eat. Oh shit!
So she ends up staking the vampire, and then she's like telling Giles there's something going on. We see her; she's not even like hitting the target on the. But it's also weird that she's doing knife throwing in the middle of the library, and no one's like, I need to take out a book.
It's just, I mean, by season 3, it's casual. You know, any students that come in looking for a book, they know. Right. But
do either of you remember there is an episode where they make a joke about that, where like Jonathan and another student are like, we just wanted to take out a book, and Xander's like, what do you think this is, a Barnes and Noble? So I feel like
I think that's
done that more.
Rise.
Is it? I think it might be, yeah.
Yeah, because then they all leave the library. But yeah, I mean, that's like one of the things, like when all the times where we watched them training in the middle of the library, and I'm like, there's windows on the door. You're telling me nobody has ever looked in and been like, why the fuck is she fighting the librarian?
Oh,
like,
all the time. People stop and look for a second, you know.
Like, did anybody look at her walking down the hallway in order to enter the library during the Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered, where she's literally just wearing an overcoat and nothing underneath? Oh, fabulous.
Okay, these students are like almost being killed on the daily. I think they're not worried about Buffy Summers throwing knives in the library. You know,
I mean, that's
they've
fair.
got their own lives to worry about.
You're right.
It's real sad, though, you know, that she's showing, and it happens so many times in this episode, that she's so expressing so much concern to Giles, and he is just not giving her anything, right? And I understand he's got sort of a role to play, and he's grappling with his own sort of like, is this right or is this wrong? But to not give her anything when she's like really freaking out, externally freaking out about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I never hated him. I just frustrated was the word for me, but I never like hated him for it.
Yeah.
It was more frustration from this episode.
Well, and I think you're both right. It's like, and you know, if the show ended the next episode, then I'd understand being like, well, I ended the show hating Giles because the second to last episode, he does a terrible thing. But I think you're both right. It's like he develops and you do like, I mean, he gets fired from his job because he doesn't quote unquote do it right. Right. Like he loves her too much, like a family love. And I think like seeing that, and like, that's why I think it was important that at the end, Buffy witnesses him getting fired. Like, I think that's really important for her to be able to forgive him as well. And then like, it does make me cry, you know, like then he like does like, you know, tend to her wounds and shit like that. And like, So I get the frustration and being like, oh, why is he doing this? I will say,
like, the thing that frustrates me the most about Giles just as a character is that he's always on the brink of dismantling this tradition that's kind of being used as an excuse for doing really terrible things to this girl. But never like fully gets there, right? Never fully completely you know, throws tradition out the window. He still goes along with it quite often. And I wish he had just been the one I wish he had been like the one to like dismantle the council at some point, you know. That would have been really cool to see.
once he's in the position of Watcher and he's seeing the like hurt it's doing to Buffy as it's coming, he's like, wait, that's not good. Wait, this isn't good. But I do think you're right, Zach. Like, I would have loved if he had fully dismantled it, but I think it's like he takes it as it comes. And usually as it comes, it is like, this is the worst it gets for him doing, like, quote unquote, his job, right?
Yeah.
He is like, he fully becomes supportive dad moving forward. And I do think it's like, he's that kind of like older man where it's like, he's not thinking ahead of stuff. He's like, this is what he was taught, and he's only rethinking when it's like directly in front of his fucking eyes. And I think that's how a lot of like older, I say older, and like Giles is probably only like 3 years older than me. But Nick, where are we?
We are now entering the Sunnydale Arms where we meet Quentin and everybody else.
And Zach, you pointed out what about this set, because I think that's very accurate.
Well, but like we don't know. It just looks like pieces from the backlot of any
like
Warner Brothers, because it looks like they use this set. They just move walls around and use it all the time.
And I like, once you said that, I was like, as we were watching, I was like, yeah, I think that's correct. We meet Quentin Travers, who I once rang up at Barnes & Noble on the Upper West Side when I worked there. And that's how I found out he was not British.
We see the box, and then Buffy is trying to convince Giles to go to the ice show.
Right. She's like hypnotized or whatever, and then he like injects her. And it like does hurt to see when she like snaps back and she's like, oh, sorry, this flu. I've been like zoning out. And I'm like, oh, she trusts you so much, Giles, and you're really like betraying that trust.
You're doing it in a moment of vulnerability for her too, where she's clearly upset about the fucking ice show.
Yeah. Hate it.
Anyway,
yes. Then we cut to Sunnydale High. The quad, we get the reminder that Amy is still a rat.
We need to pause here for a second, though.
Yes.
Every other second we're pausing on something. Okay. Why is Willow the only person who can turn Amy back into a human? Is there nobody fucking else? Giles doesn't have any context on his Rolodex, on his, rotary dial phone. There's nobody that they can call to turn this teenage girl back into a human.
You're right.
Honestly, I've always been slightly perturbed about the fact that it took so long, and I'm glad that Amy brings it up in the 6th season. Like, oh, while you were too busy not turning me back from a rat, like it doesn't make any sense that she's always seemed like an afterthought.
Her rage was fully valid.
Fully, 100%.
And the animosity she had built up, fully valid, because these are some assholes.
Could you imagine?
Being a rat piggy?
I would wait. I would come back as a Dark Willow. Like, everybody's done. I'm skinning bitches. Like, this is fucking crazy. Like, this is that's
skinning bitches.
Yeah. I'm coming with a vengeance up in this bitch. But no, that's crazy. Yeah.
We get Cordelia, and she has like 2 very key scenes in this episode. We see this dude's like not taking no for an answer from him, and Cordelia's like, get away from me. And he grabs her, and Buffy goes to grab him. And what happens, Nick?
He knocks Buffy clear across the fucking quad. Like, she flies over the little bench thing. It's very weird seeing her like this.
Like, don't
very weird. And it's like, and I do appreciate, though. I mean, obviously we know that Cordelia does have some sort of, affection for Buffy and the rest of them. Obviously, she does not always let that show through, but I think this was a moment, a very human moment for Cordelia, that the fact that she immediately, as she sees what happens to Buffy, she goes to defend her. I mean, she doesn't do it very well.
But it's brilliant to watch. Yes. Yeah. It's her little hits with the, her little forearms is wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
Her hair's great in this episode too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's a nice reminder, because right now I'm on Angel, and so it's a nice reminder of how beautiful her hair is and all that stuff. So I'm just like, okay, this is.
Did she cut it?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I mean, she's still stunning. I mean, I could look at her for days, but I was like, what the fuck is going on up in this bitch? It was weird, but it's
it was of the time.
Yes, exactly. Let's just say that. It was of the time.
It was a different time. It's like when people excuse their like racist relatives, like, yeah, they're from a different time. Yeah, she does. She's like, what is wrong with you? And starts hitting the guy. I do love that. But yeah, man, she hits that stone bench pretty fucking hard.
Yep.
Yeah. Jesus.
I do love Buffy later saying, Cordelia had to rescue me.
Yes. Then we cut to Giles and it's Buffy being like, Cordelia just had to rescue me. Like, what is going on? And she is like pissed. And she's like, well, I forget what she says, but she's like, I throw knives. And Giles says, like a girl. And I don't love that.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not the Slayer. Like, she corrects him. Also, I would point, I don't know if she got this when she was fighting the vampire initially, or if it was from when she went over the bench. But I do like that immediately after that scene and she's talking to Giles in the hallway, she quite clearly has a giant bruise on like her collarbone.
Yeah, they like bruise her up, which I do appreciate because that would make sense because we know that like healing is one of her like Slayer powers.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so she goes. What is it? Does he go to see the Watchers first, or does she go to Angel first? Which one happens first?
He goes to see Quentin first.
Okay. Calls it an archaic ritual. They tell him it's a rite of passage.
It literally doesn't make any fucking sense.
No,
like,
that's
the biggest thing that I've never quite... It never made sense to me, because I'm like, so the Slayers historically die very, very young. And in order for you to think that they need to prove themselves, they therefore need to have no powers and survive a vampire. Like, I'm like, but then if they don't, then you just wasted all that fucking training on them. And now we have to go around the world and find another one and retrain another one. I'm like, this just seems counterproductive.
Well, but also, aren't they also putting like other innocent people at risk of just like dropping dead even faster than...
Yep.
Is this like, yeah, I don't know. It feels a little bit like, not ignorant, but just like stupid to just like have them like have no powers. So these fucking vampires like roaming free, killing bitches even more than they already are. Anyways, that was just frustrating to watch. Anyway, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's like Joyce gets in danger because of this stupid thing. And like, Zach, I think you said this last night. It's like, why couldn't they just pick a regular vampire then? Like...
It's strange, the vampire that they did pick for this. Like, they were just trying to make it as difficult as possible. And I would say, to sort of Nick's point a little bit, is that if you do make it to 18, that should be proving yourself enough, right?
Exactly.
It's so... The Watchers Council, man, frustrates me to no end, because there's such this... They're this big organization, whatever you'd call it, and... they don't have anything else to do. Like, I wish we could see what else they do, because there has to be other evils out there that they're like focused on, because all we know is that they're just focused on making this this 18-year-old girl's life fucking hell. This is what they have to do. Quentin, get a job. Quentin, get a job.
Get a job. Stay away from her.
Still, after Giles leaves, and they introduce the whole thing with having to give Kralik pills.
Which, have any of you seen Dumb and Dumber? Because that's all.
Is the Pope Catholic?
When they're like, but he needs his pills. I just think of like, pills are good when they're like giving the guy the pills that actually end up killing him. That's what I always think of with this episode. Now do we cut to Angel, Nick?
Nope. Now is when Kralik breaks out of the restraints and kills the other Watchers Council people.
Which it does feel like, what the fuck did you like? You fell for that from the serial killer vampire? You're gonna fall for like...
No, it's fucking scary though. Like, that they're on shift and they're like, have this little room that they're sleeping in, and this vampire screaming its fucking head off in the other room. It's terrifying.
It is. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, this episode, I feel like this and Hush are, and maybe Conversations with Dead People, that I'll say no more, are the episodes that like do a really good job of leaning into horror.
Yes.
Yeah. And like in different ways.
Yeah, I would say, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I would say The Puppet Show would be season 1 for me as the most horror. Yeah. Season 2 would be Killed by Death.
What's the one with the clown? Because that one creeped me out a little. Is that the?
Oh no, Nightmares. You're right.
That one genuinely creeped me. I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" Because I was getting used to it, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on up in this bitch?" Like, because I don't fuck with clowns, so I was like, "Oh no, I can't do that." But yeah, that one creeped me out too. But, yeah.
But so now we are at her going to see Angel, right?
Yes. You are right.
So I mean, Zach mentioned that, like, the book. But she admits to Angel that she says, like, rhymes with, I forget what it is, but she says she was like Cordelia. And then we I feel like watching this yesterday, I was like, did I remember this? Did I like, if you would ask me 2 days ago, I'd be like, I don't know. She just knows, right? I didn't remember that Angel explicitly tells her that he was watching her. And
sicko, creepy.
Yes. It's so weird that, like, dude, you're talking about a 15-year-old kid that was walking down the steps of high school.
Not just a 15-year-old, but it's not even our Buffy that we know who's strong and powerful, right? It's the 15-year-old Buffy who, like, doesn't have her powers yet. She's just sucking on a lollipop, walking,
He doesn't know her.
These things, yes. Fucking weirdo,
and she clearly looks like a child. Like, she's clearly, like she looks like a baby. And I was like, oh my. Yeah.
It's so weird because, like, man, just say you wanted to fuck. Like, just say, like, I feel like that's less creepy than being like, I fell in love with you, looking at you from a car window. Like,
I'm glad that she calls it out, though, and does call him creepy for doing that.
Yes, she does, which I like because I didn't remember. I guess I haven't, this isn't an episode I revisit that often. So I guess I just, like, didn't remember that. But yeah, I really was like, I don't remember them having this conversation that he explicitly says how creepy he was. And, like,
and I'm glad that they did that.
Yes.
That they did that comment, because it was like, let's not romanticize that whole scene right now, because I'm like, there are a lot of young people watching, especially, and I'm like, they're probably just like feeling the fantasy of like, oh my god, I just want this man to just come rescue me, whatever, like
who wouldn't want a hot vampire fawning over them? Yeah,
right, exactly. But let's still, we can do that, but let's remind ourselves what the fuck he just said right now. I'm like, creepy as hell.
Growing up is talking about the reality of it, right? Because in any way you spin this, whether he's a vampire, whether he's human, even human, he was still way too old for a 15-year-old to be watching a 15-year-old,
Right, yeah. Like, even if he's like 20, it's like 15.
Or maybe just don't watch people, period, Say hi to him.
You know what, Zach? That is a good point. Like, it's creepy even if they were both adults. That is still fucking creepy. Like,
I mean, if somebody wants to watch me, that's okay, though. I'm into it.
You can subscribe to Zach's Patreon where you can watch it. AZB Plus.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry.
But where do we go, Nick? Because my notes say now we go. That's when Kralik escapes after this.
Then we cut to the one that he turned into a vampire wakes up, and Giles shows up and realizes that everybody is dead and he's broken out.
Right. Like, even Giles going in there is like kind of like horror movie, like the person walking in after.
Oh, it's so spooky.
Yeah.
And he like gets a steak and walks into the kitchen and then drops the fucking steak.
He does run out though, which is smart. He's not like, I'm going to stick around. Yeah, I do. I like that. I like the way it's shot, that we don't see the other watcher, but we assume it's like something really like grotesque. Like, in my brain, he's like ripped apart. And that's like why we only see like his arm and like him slumped over on the table with blood on it.
Yeah.
And I think that works.
Less is more.
Right. Yeah. I think that works for the show, because if we just seen him like with a little bit of blood on him dead, it wouldn't have the same impact.
You hear that, Terrifier?
Agreed, David.
Oh my
but yeah,
god.
I do think that works well, of being like, oh, they like, maybe they ripped that man's guts out or something like really terrible. And Buffy did not have the budget to do anything that grotesque that well, probably.
It kind of reminds me of in the first season when Willow and Cordelia walk into the computer room and find all the bodies. The way that they shoot that, I feel like that was more effective. Actually, David and I were just talking about this the other day. We were talking about like violence in movies and stuff. And we all know, like, I love all of the Scream movies, but there was something that we were talking about where I was like, there's something about the violence and the way that it is portrayed in the newer ones that I don't feel as effective. And I'm like, well, it's because they explicitly show everything now. Like, you see the knife going in, you see the skin twisting and stuff like that. Whereas before, like, think of Cece, you didn't even see her hitting the ground.
Yeah.
Right,
You didn't have close-ups of her corpse. And like, that is something that Buffy does a lot, and Angel, where less is more, because they were working within a budget. And I remember having this discussion with people about the comic books, like season 8 and beyond, whereas, like I've told David this, I'm like, there's literally characters getting turned into giant robots and fighting in downtown Tokyo and shit like that. And I'm like, Buffy excelled because it had a budget, because it had limitations. Like, you had to contain these types of stories. And I feel like that is also shown with these types of, the way that they portray a lot of the violence, where you're not actually seeing it.
Yes.
So this is when we get the Buffy chase scene, right, Nick?
Yep. Which is what I call the Little Red Riding Hood chase scene.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Tell me they were not just pulling from I Know What You Did Last Summer, because there's a shot when she rounds the corner that is exactly Helen Shivers running round the corner.
Yep.
And I ate it
up. I must have replayed this scene so many times when I was a kid.
Yes.
It's like I hate it. I hate it because I'm like, no, Buffy, I want her to kick her ass, but it's like so good.
I don't hate it at all. Love it. Masticating it.
Ooh, it's nasty.
It's also shot. It's shot unlike Buffy is normally shot. Like it's like a random street, a random alley. It's not like the alley we always see that seems to be the one that's like right next to the magic box.
They took her to a neighborhood. They actually gave her like a neighborhood, right? And it's exactly like what David said earlier, is that I love seeing Sarah Michelle Gellar act like she's in danger. Like, just this is another sort of like thing that she can do just so fucking well. And she just, I don't know. And it's so quick and she sells it. I wish this would have been like a 13-minute chase scene, you know?
I wish Giles would have gone around the corner a couple more times just so I could just watch her run a little more. Because I'm like, Jesus Christ. Because I was it's a moment where it happens sometimes where I'm watching the show and I forget that I'm like so invested in the show where I'm like, holy shit. And I was just watching. I was like, oh my God, I want this to last a little longer. It was so amazingly shot. Like just the tension that it built was like, perfection.
Yeah, and like hearing her screaming for help, it's like, fuck, no, I don't want Buffy to have to scream for help. And like, I like the realistic ways she gets away, right? It's like he has her by the jacket, she pulls herself out of the jacket. She like crawls under the fence. The vampire's too big to get under that. Like she uses the fact that she is small to get away. And I like that. I like that it's like, they're making it more realistic. Like, yeah, look, she has no powers. This is what happens.
Yeah.
And I do like that. Zach pointed out the Red Riding Hood. I never even made that fucking connection until Zach said it last night. And I was like, all right.
A fake fucking fan, because that's right in front of your nose, Ian.
I think they also say
They say it.
But I didn't get it until Kralik has when he has it on, I got that. But I didn't get it with her. In the
because when Joyce goes in the porch and she's like goes, that's literally like so that's what I got. But anyways,
So Giles happens to pull up because one assumes he's been looking for her.
It's very Texas Chainsaw like getaway.
Yeah, because the vampire, the Watcher that's been turned into a vampire is like hanging onto that door, and it's like kind of goofy, but it's like he's right there, almost getting her. But they speed away, he falls over. And this is when we cut to the library, correct, Nick? Okay. I'm like checking in with you. So this is when we get our big reveal. And Giles tells Buffy what happened. And the acting here on every angle is like top fucking notch. Like the fact that Giles is not looking her in the eyes when he's explaining it and is like just sometimes looking up because he knows she is going to feel betrayed. He did something wrong. Like he knows every part of it was terrible and he doesn't want to see the pain on her face.
Yeah.
And this is almost like a revisit of like the Prophecy Girl like argument, but almost like reversed. Because it's Giles that's like, well, you had to have your powers taken away. And she's like, that's me. Those are my powers. Like, that's who I am. And she throws the fucking thing at him.
Well, and it's Buffy being told that the man that she clearly thinks of as a father figure has violated her in such an extreme way. And God, Sarah just sells fucking everything. She's so good. Grabbing her hair, I get chills every time I watch her do any sort of scene to this magnitude.
Yeah, even last night when we were watching it, I was like, God, am I going to cry? Because she is...
I know, I couldn't look at you. I was like, don't do it, Ian. I don't know how to soothe you on this one.
Shit.
But yeah, she's so good. And like, you feel the emotions, right? Like, David, as a new Buffy fan, I need to know your reaction to this scene.
Well, it's frustrating because it was like obviously the frustration with that, like the betrayal, but also you add the close situation with her actual father that adds on top of just like that sense of like, how could you do this to me? Whereas like she was looking forward to, she's like looks up to this man, and then add this on top of the other man that she looks up to as a father figure. It's like there's a sense of like there's a loneliness in that because she is almost like a realization that I'm like I can't trust anybody, and I just like there's nothing that I can. There's nothing that I can do to make somebody just like be fully honest and transparent with me. And that sense of betrayal, it's very hard. It's very hard to watch because I've been in situations like that where I like with friends or family where I just feel like I can't rely on anybody, even the people that I love. to be there for me or be there to hold me down when I need them the most. So that was I thank God that they added Cordelia to that scene, because it would have been a little bit too much, because I'm like, this is a little bit too serious for my liking, but it was brilliantly acted, like brilliant, like the pacing was great, like everything about it. So I'm glad that they added Cordelia, because I needed a breather for a second, because I was like, Jesus fuck. Yeah, it's a lot to watch. Yeah.
And speaking of our girl Cordelia, I think so good. She looks stunning in this scene.
Oh yeah.
And like
Cordelia Chase stuns.
Stuns a new old 25-year-old photo. I think she looks fantastic. Her hair looks great. Her makeup, and I love her lines too. And like, this is, she has 2 scenes in this episode, but she fucking makes sure you notice her. I feel like I used Charisma Carpenter reposted. When lockdown started, it was like me doing anything. And it was like, if the world's going to end, I'm not going to bother doing it. And that was like, I thought about everything. And I do like her lines. She comes in, I mentioned earlier, like, doesn't anyone go in the library? And she literally comes in at like the worst time / a good time to like kind of almost save Buffy, right? Get her out of this terrible situation. Right. And I love that she's just like, I love the idea that Cordelia's like, well, something wacky happened and she lost her memory. Like, what stupid spell happened? And she's just like going for it. But then when Buffy says, Cordelia, can you drive me home? Man, like,
and her immediately dropping and doing, of course, it's like
she actually listens to her.
It's the kids having each other's backs, right? Like, where the fuck is Angel? Knowing that this is happening with Buffy, why isn't he watching her now? She's not 15 anymore. She hit 18. Right? He did leave town once she turned 18. Let's just say that. But like, all of these kids have each other's backs, right? Cordelia has Buffy's back. When she'll come in and shit talk a little bit, but if Buffy is looking like she needs a real serious piece of help at this moment, even just a ride home, Cordelia's got her.
And like, the change in face that Charisma Carpenter does is so good, because she's like being jokey and she immediately softens when she sees that, like, oh, Buffy's crying, and she knows there isn't something wacky going on. There is something like serious, and she immediately softens and is just like, yeah, of course. Like, so good. When I did a live with Charisma Carpenter last year, I actually specifically told her about, like, this scene is like one that always sticks with me with Cordelia, because it's so subtle and so quick too, right? It's like she says, of course, and then the scene's over. But everything you said, Zach, yes. Nick, do you? I feel like all of us are yapping. Nick, what do you think?
No.
I mean, I agree with everything that's been said. The one thing that I really like about this scene is Anthony Stewart Head's performance, because the way that he's trying to plead to like fix what he's done with her, and the nuance to his performance, like he'll maintain eye contact with her for a second, but then he looks away, and he sort of like he'll say something like in an effort to apologize, and he'll come really, really close with her, and then sheepishly immediately backs away. And there's also like for instance, Giles always looks like on top of it, like with his clothing, and like his tie is pushed to the side and his hair isn't completely done. And I just, there's just such attention to detail with his performance here that just, I love it.
Yeah. They're all like, everyone gets an A in this scene. Everyone gets an A+.
And then with the, the whole thing with Cordelia and softening with Buffy, I feel like looking at their relationship over the course of both series, and clearly they like and they respect each other, but they're also constantly vying for like the lead character role, which is why I think that they're always at odds. But I like that whenever there is something serious, Cordelia specifically does not shy away from letting you know how she actually feels. Like, David and I just watched the premiere of season 3 of Angel, and like when Cordelia's talking to Angel and she flat out says like, Buffy's gone and I miss her. Like, I do miss her. You would never think in like season 1 of Buffy that she would ever say some shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And I like that even when she is gone, she's still showing her respect when she needs to.
Yes. Yes. It's funny that you say that, Nick, because I've had people on social say they don't like Cordelia because they feel that she's always nothing but nasty to Buffy.
Who said that? What's their address? Wait, what? Okay.
I've had a couple people say that, and I get that, but I do think you're right, Nick. I do think and like you said, Zach, Cordelia will talk her shit. She'll come in and she'll be like, Buffy, I hate your fucking outfit. But when it comes down to it, if it's Buffy, like you said, Nick, she admits to missing her. She, in this scene, when she's like, oh yeah, you need, I can tell something's wrong. Sure, I'll drive you home. When it comes down to it, Cordelia will back them up, right?
Right.
Even if she'll complain about it, she'll still do it. I feel is it graduation day? Yeah, I think it's graduation day when she's she does complain. And Xander says something like, we're trying to stop the end of the world. And she's like, all right. And she rolls her eyes and sits down to help.
Yep.
And for me, that is Cordelia, right? Which is saying it, I'm that is not unlike me. I will also roll my eyes and complain, but we'll do it.
Well, it's not to make it any gayer than it already is, but it's the whole Golden Girls relationship where they will read each other to the point where anybody else looking from the outside is do you all even like each other? But they always have their back. They always there for each other in that situation. So that's why it never frustrated me. I was just that's just who Cordelia is. That she's not gonna change the way she talks to people, even when she loves them, or that's just how that's just who she is. And it's never, but it never feels disrespectful. It never, I don't know. There's certain things where it just feels this is just who she talks. That's just how, they just be reading each other. So yeah. That's how it looks for me, at least. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I fully agree with you because I do think when she's reading them, she's not trying to be nasty. She's just as we see in earshot, she's just saying exactly what she thinks.
Oh my God. Yeah. I love that.
Nick, I have a question for you because is it after this Joyce gets, right? Is it right after this scene?
Yeah.
Joyce comes out, she's a knock on her door, she comes out and someone wearing Buffy's jacket, she turns over and it's Kralik and he says, Mother.
I don't know how she confused this big ass man with her 4'3" daughter, but sure.
Was his legs not sticking out from that jacket? What did you think this was?
I would have looked out that damn keyhole and have been well,
they have 3 windows in their door. They never look out those just the windows.
No. When people do that in movies where they just open doors, I'm what the fuck is wrong with y'all people? What is happening?
Well, I mean, I don't leave my doors locked, so I can't.
Oh my God! Oh no! It's somebody else.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
I lock my bedroom door when I go in my room.
I can't sleep. I can't sleep with my door open.
No, I can't either.
That's fucking wild to me. People would just be walking wide open like that. I'm what if I see a fucking shadow? But
right.
No. I don't play that. I don't play that shit. No.
I feel I've seen even as a child, it'd be I would be worried someone would be in the doorway. That was always my fear. Yeah. I still think so.
Well, there's this meme of this woman that she's taking a shower and she has a gun with her at all times because she's paranoid. She's I don't trust it. We're just home alone.
As she should. Sidney Prescott. That's very Sidney Prescott coded.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go.
And then Buffy comes home and finds a Polaroid that is of what, Zachary?
A selfie. This vampire's got some flair,
Mm-hmm.
He really was all right, Joyce, this is a cute one. This is the one we're using. The rest are going on my wall.
She loads up her big-ass bag full of stakes and crosses and holy water and takes on Trojan.
I do love that. I love, she's got her sad overalls on. She's got this giant-ass bag. And,
everything designed to, make her look small, right? It's brilliant. Yeah. It's great.
Yes.
Did you just shade her overalls?
No, they're her sad over, and she is sad, so she puts them on. I mean,
I love them.
Her sleigh overalls.
Her sleigh.
I just meant because she only wears overalls when she's sad. That's the only time Buffy wears them.
Well, yes.
So I didn't mean to drag for you. I just meant Buffy puts them on when she's feeling sad.
Because I'm looking at it on my screen and you're the sad overalls that whereas I'm sitting there, I was I want a pair.
Quentin Travers seats out Giles, right?
That's after Buffy enters and then it cuts to Quentin at the library.
Giles explains that the test is should be canceled because Buffy knows about it. as well as Kralek's escape, and Quentin that says it's like too late because Buffy has entered the field of battle, as you said.
But like, how the fuck does he know that?
Right? Like,
it's the Big Brother house. They have cameras up there. I have to believe
Maybe they got walkie-talkies or something.
Yeah,
true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A Ring doorbell.
Quinn also doesn't seem to give a shit that the other two watchers were like murdered.
Right. Does not care.
He never gives a
all.
shit for anything. He doesn't change his face at all. We never
That's
see
true.
him change his face.
That's true. Yeah. So then this scene, like, was when we were watching it last night, Zach, that was the one thing I was like, wow, this is a lot like this is like in my memory, this was like half the episode.
It was short, wouldn't it?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember this as like a good 20, 30 minutes of the episode is like in that house being spooky, but it's like pretty quick. Because she only really engages Kralek twice, right?
Well, she does a lot though. It's a quick scene, but she does do a lot because she even has to take out that one vamp with the bookshelf, and she like beats him up a little bit, but like and just runs away, and then she runs into Kralek.
Yes, but before she does, isn't that when he's like just like whispering hide and seek to her?
It's fucking creepy, man. And
So
the cinematography
creepy.
that goes along with this episode, every time they're in this house and it's like so bathed in shadow.
Yes.
It's brilliant. And I think this thing is supposed to like weaken her past the point of a normal human as well, right? Like it's not just that they take her powers away. She's even weaker than just your average human.
Yes, because I meant to thank you for bringing that up. I meant to point that out earlier. When she was running from Kralek in the alley, she can't even pull herself up to climb the fence. It's not that she can't get over it. She doesn't even have the strength to pull herself up.
Well, didn't she say also like when she punched him, she thought she broke her arm?
Yeah.
Like she was just like fully just thought she was like broken completely. So yeah. I mean, this is
she
pretty
does like
sad.
Specifically mention that. And so we get it's like he like grips her up by the neck and like slams it, and he slams her hard against that wall. But then he has his pill freak out, which is important for later. And Buffy grabs his pills, right? And that's when she jumps down the chute.
No, so they have the whole weird erotic burning with the crucifix thing, right. And that's when she dips out into the other room and has one of my favorite scene/shots from the entire series when she enters the room with all of the Polaroids.
Oh, the Polaroids. But that's that's a great sequence of events too. When she goes from the Polaroids to the stairs, or stairs to the Polaroids, whatever order that is. Like all of these things stacked on top of each other are so great. That Polaroid room is fucking bananas.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying to me. Absolutely. Like, how much fucking time did he have?
He's creative. He's creative.
He stopped at Walmart to buy like just buckets of fucking film.
I'm just picturing Joyce just like sitting there like, do I have to? What is happening?
I want to see a couple of those because Joyce was posing, right? Joyce works at the gallery. She's going to take all of those and display them at the gallery.
Shit!
No, but that was twisted when she walked in and just saw that shit. Yeah. It just felt dirty.
And the music is so good, and it's such a good reveal. And you're right, Nick. I do think it's like one of like a very like iconic Buffy image, right? Is like her with that like the light string like right in front of her, and she's just turned it on, and like the look on her face. Because Sarah does so like wide-eyed, like scared really well too.
Oh yeah. And I like that there's a good solid like 6 or 7 seconds where the screen is just black.
Yeah. And she's also has this is my favorite cut placement that they ever do with her is the cut over the eyebrow. Love that. She's got the bruises. She's her clothes are basically draping off of her. It's just and the Polaroids really remind us that he's like a serial killer, right? Because he's not just a normal vampire; he's a serial killer vampire.
Right.
It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose.
It absolutely reminded me of that. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Then she escapes, which feels, Zach, very Halloween-esque to me.
Sure.
That's what I thought of immediately. And then she finds her mom, and I do. This is so good. I love like Buffy does this very quickly, but it's not like unbelievably quickly, right? It's like Buffy's still like a vampire slayer, so she's still thinking, how do I like get rid of this vampire, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then Kralek comes down and needs his pills and gets them from her. And what happens, David?
He swallows it and he starts burning from the inside and kapoof. He's gone. Oh, yeah.
Belly full of too much.
I love that scene. Oh my god! Because what she said? If I was a Slayer right now, I'd be punning.
Yes.
That shit was so funny. Oh, that was fun to watch because I was like, God, at least give us something to laugh at a little bit because this was a rough one today. But but it was that was great to watch though because I was like, oh shit. I didn't, I'm slow, so I couldn't even think about that on my feet,
Oh, I wouldn't have thought of that either. I would have gotten by that vampire.
I would have been like, please, somebody.
It's like, Mom, do something.
Joyce, this is your time. This is your moment, Joyce.
Oh my god, no, but that was cool to watch. Yeah.
I think that's like also like, I mean, we say this a lot, but I do think that's like a very iconic Buffy moment is like watching her get the best of this like unhinged serial killer vampire while having no powers. Like I love it. And I also love that the vampire, his last words are, oh my. Like he's this like intense murderer and he's like, oh my. Like
right.
I love it.
He turned into what's his name? George, what was it, Takai? Oh my.
That was a really good impression.
Thank you.
And then I do like there's like the little bit of when Buffy is like trying to untie Joyce and Joyce is like, can't you just like, I love that, like, Joyce is waiting for her daughter, just like, rip the ropes off.
That's when I'm like, shut the fuck up, Joyce. Get your ass back to the gallery. Go.
Damn.
And then, Nick, where do we end on?
So the second to last scene is the big blowout in the library where Giles gets fired.
Oh, motherfucker, you had to say second to last because there is one more scene at the end.
Yes.
I like that it ends on, Travers is like, congratulations. And she says, bite me. And he like does a condescending like chuckle and is like, colorful girl. And then Giles immediately tends to her wounds. Like then he walks over and she lets him. And I think like her letting him is kind of her showing him like, okay, I see what you did. Like I see we're good. Like I do think that's an important moment to have. And then the scene we end on is this supposed to be before school and they're all at Buffy's house?
I have no idea.
What time is it?
Who has the energy for all that shit? I'm
right. Well, even when I was a kid, I was like waking up, eating my cereal, and like barely making the bus.
That's for real. Oh my god! I mean, about bacon, egg, and cheese on the side and falling to the side and shit. Just like, tired of shit. Anyway.
And we learned that like her powers haven't fully come back yet. And Joyce is like impressed with how Buffy, killed the vampire. I was like mushing my next sentence with what
we're not there. Yeah, we're not there yet. She kills the friends later.
And then we get Xander. He's like, oh, you just need a big, strong man. And I do like the beat of him doing that. And then he can't open the jar. I do think that's, he would have been so proud of himself if he opened it. So I'm glad he doesn't.
Cordelia could have done it.
Yeah, absolutely. She would have been like, now that we're at the end, Zach, I don't know if you've been on or Zach or Nick, but I do trivia at the end, like any trivia about the episode. So the trivia for this episode is David. It's not like anything that exciting. David Fury revealed the name Zachary Kralik came from his nephew. That's his nephew's name. So the vampire is named after his nephew. And apparently the original idea for this episode included Buffy being drugged by the council and hallucinating her friends and family all as vampires. However, it was abandoned because it felt too close to The Wish. And apparently Christine Sutherland couldn't stand even trying on the vampire makeup, which I kind of love. Jeff Kober, who plays Kralik, is like one of the few people that has played two different characters on Buffy because he also plays Rack in season 6, the like magic drug dealer. Oz and Xander have a debate about Superman's kryptonite. And blah, blah, blah. Oz is correct and Xander is wrong, apparently, in the discussion. There's
that is like
bunch of different...
the Randy to me of it, like him getting the fucking thing wrong. I'm like, haha, I feel such a sense of just...
Take that, you boner. Right. This is the first time, although I feel like this isn't true, but I guess this is the first time Buffy mentions Mr. Pointy since Kendra gave it to her. And Quentin Travers, this is his first appearance, and he only has 3 appearances.
Really? He seems like he's been a pain in our asses every season.
Yeah, it really does. But okay. Now that we are at the end, favorite outfit, David?
Fuck, not me first. Wait, hold up. You know I'm slow. Y'all are the super fans. Y'all should go first. Wait, hold on. Give me a second. Y'all go.
I'll call on Nick first.
Talk amongst yourselves. Hold on.
Nick.
The overalls. Hands down the overall.
Oh goodness. I'll say the overalls. It has to be the overalls, but with a close second, I do like the other overalls that Kralik is wearing.
The Michael Myers one.
Yes, we got overall v overall.
It's the overalls, but also I think that like khaki colored jacket that's like maybe I some kind of like specific not normal jacket material. It's like looks like it's like not suede, but something like that. That Cordelia wears. I think she looks fantastic in it. And normally I don't like that color.
I hate you. Yeah. No, that to me, it was that one. Yeah, that when she walks in and she breaks it off, like she just walks in like she just walked out like a fucking Calvin Klein out or something. I was just like, right. She just looks so chic and just, I mean, she always looks fucking amazing. But yeah, I just love how just fresh face, because especially the contrast between her and Buffy. Yes. Just Cordelia's just like, just living her best life. She's just walking in, the hair is done, the makeup is beat. She's just like snatched, and Buffy's just like, I'm fighting for my fucking life right now. So the contrast just makes her look even just like more magical than she naturally looks already. So I'm going to say that one. Yeah.
Favorite scene, Zach?
We're
going to have the same one probably.
Well, I'm going to do a combined scene and I don't care. So it's two scenes. Okay. It's going to be the chase scene and then the scene throughout the house.
Nick?
The Polaroid on the wall scene.
David?
The fucking chase scene needed to be 15 minutes long. Mm-hmm. I don't care. The gas needed to run out, and he needs to go back to the gas station to pick. And I needed it to be longer, but it was perfection from beginning to end. Because it's like you start, the episode, that scene starts, and you're like, oh, these guys are being perverts, whatever. But then it just like shifts so fucking quickly, and I just like, oh my god, I just eat it up.
Yeah. It is good.
Yeah.
I can't believe no one picked. I thought we were all gonna have the same one, but silly. I don't know why I thought that. My favorite scene is the like scene in the library because just the acting is just so good. But I do love
no,
it's not Ian. All right, I'm sorry, Zach. You're right. It's a chase scene. What grade do we give this episode, David?
Well, let me see. On the Mother Quake on the Cuntagology report, I mean, I'm gonna probably I'm gonna give it's a solid B plus at least for me. I mean, no, A.
What?
Because it's perfection.
Plus.
No, because I wanted it to be. There were scenes where I wanted them to be longer, and I wanted them to like drag it out a little more. But that's just me being selfish. But whatever. I'm gonna say an A because it was genuinely like from the acting to the elements of horror to the vulnerability to just the humor, and it was an A. Yeah, an A for sure.
Zach?
Oh, A plus. But I agree. It should have been bigger, longer, uncut.
Oh my. Well,
Nick.
Well, I would have to agree with David. I think as an episode that sort of happens in the middle of the season, this was, as a wise person once said, a surprise Kuntakazi sleigh tack on the You Yas Yas Mother Zona. This is an A for me. This is an A for me.
To go off what Nick said, I agree with Zachary. So yeah, A plus. Thank you all for doing this. Happy birthday, Buffy. And happy birthday, me, because my birthday's 2 days after Buffy's. Hers is the 19th. Mine is the 21st. She's Capricorn, cusp of Aquarius, and I'm Aquarius, cusp of Capricorn.
Oh, look at you.
All right.
Well, I hope you have a blast on your birthday. And
thank
all
you.
that stuff.
Zach and I will be drunk in New York together, so it will be fun. Nick, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Patreon, Instagram, Twitter/X, all of those things at Nick Says Boo.
David, where can everyone find you?
You're going to find me at Zavid on Twitter, Zavid on YouTube, and Zavid on Instagram. 2 Z's, AVID, and all that nasty shit that I do on that stuff. Just talk shit. Oh my God. Yeah.
Zachary, where can everyone find you?
Oh, goodness. If you search Zach Patton Garcia, I'll pop up somewhere. I do have Patreon, patreon.com/AZB plus PLUS. Yes.
We'll see you next time. Happy birthday, Buffy. Bye.